Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Zach with Money Pit RC. In today's video, we're going to talk about outboard links. I probably shouldn't be the guy to make this video because I just started doing this. So I'm going to weigh out the pros and cons of what I've seen so far of doing it like this. I'm only making this video because I got a ton of questions about the outboard links. So I'm going to try to answer them best I can, give a little tricks and tips of how to set it up. But this is not a full actually how to bend the links and all that. This is just how I kind of set mine up, and I'm just going to show you the ones that I have already done. So outboard links, should you do it? It depends on your build. So you're not going to be able to do this on every single chassis. You're going to actually have to have certain frame rails with adjustable like holes in the side so you can set up the links the proper way. You can't just kind of slap these on and call it a day. You got to actually fine tune them in a little bit because you need to have the angle of the axle correct, or it's just going to be pointless of doing this. So I'm going to show you that later on in this video. First couple questions I get, you don't need to have special links. Well, kinda, you do. So you're going to want to get the Enduro ones, the adjustable ones that are just like the tube with the plastic ball ends on the end that you can thread on. You're going to want to use those just because you're going to have to change the angle of the ball ends. But other than that, you can just kind of pick up a stock. Let's just say I use Gladiator ones. You pick up a stock set of Gladiator ones, you can make those work. That's the main question I get. Do you have to have longer links or shorter links? No, you can just use the kit that Enduro supplies. So funny enough, both of my outboard links are on the Coupe Eel chassis. I did have it set up on the Enduro carbon fiber LCG chassis. It worked fine with that. I'll see if I can add a picture now. I did have it set up on that. Actually, just watch my video, my recap video. I had that outboard link set up was on the Enduro LCG chassis. So you can have it on that, and then you have it on the Eel chassis. I'm sure there's a whole bunch of other chassis you can do it with. Like I said, you're probably not going to be able to do it on the stock frame rails just because you need more options. Maybe you could drill out some holes and make it work, but I don't think it'll be beneficial enough to actually do that. So just pick yourself up a Coupe Eel chassis or some other chassis like that where you can actually get some good adjustments. So the two main benefits of what I see doing it this way is one, which is the most important for me, you're gonna get the maximum ground clearance you can get. I mean, you can really probably double your ground clearance if you do it the right way. And then two, what I've seen and what other people tell me is that it helps with the stability on left and right, like on the side hills, just because with the outboard links being pushed out more, it's going to give more stability. All right, so I'm going to show you my two builds that have the outboard links. So first up, this is my Coupe Eel chassis. This is the aluminum version. As you can see, outboard links, upper outboard links. Nice and tucked up in there. As you can see, with not focused on my face. Maximum ground clearance. And this is my Coupe Eel light chassis with the outboard links. Kind of set up similar. I think the aluminum one has a little bit more ground clearance because I changed the angle a little bit, but still maximum ground clearance. And it's really not that hard to set it up. I'm just going to show you quick of how mine are set up. All right, so setting these up, step one, you're going to go to 24 Yep's channel. You're going to find his double bend video. You're going to follow that. You're going to double bend the lower links. So the lower links, the ones that attach down here, you're going to want to double bend those. So double bend is, it's kind of hard to see, but these already are high clearance links, so they already have one bend. So what you're going to do is you're going to take the pivot ball off on the other side that is not bent, and you're going to bend it the exact same as the already bend that it's already there. So you're going to do that on both of them. So your lower links are going to have a double bend. So they're going to look like that. And then what you're going to do is you're going to take your upper links that are mounted to the rear truss. You're going to want to take them off. They're already going to have a bend in it because they are the high clearance links. So you're kind of going to want to double bend them, but you're not going to bend them as much. So the part that's already bent, you're going to want to flip them around, and you're going to attach the part that's already bent to the rear truss. And then you're going to kind of lay it out and see where you need to bend, because you just want enough to bend just to where it'll attach to the side of the frame rails. You don't want to bend it too much to where it pushes it in. You just want a nice clean out and then kind of straight. Just enough to where it attaches to the rails. Like I said, they don't have to be perfect, but you just want enough to where it'll attach to the outside. So this is why you want to get these type of links, because these are adjustable. You're gonna have to twist them to where they're parallel with your frame rails. So once you get all your links bent, this is kind of where it's going to get a little tricky. As you can see, I do not use the rear part of the skid plate. I actually have my lower links mounted to the inside of the frame rails, but you can actually have them to here, but I just did them on the frame rails just to give it that extra clearance. If I had them here, it kind of would have raised them up a little bit, but you can do it either way. I just wanted to the maximum clearance I could get. So I did mount these at the frame rails. So I had these lower links mounted first. And then what you're going to do is you're going to mount the upper links to the rear truss. You're going to lay the car flat. You're going to try, it's kind of hard to show you, you're going to try to get these links to where your axle, you can kind of see it's kind of laid back a little bit. You're going to want the axle a little laid back, just so your drive shaft kind of shoots kind of in an angle, not a lot where it's going to bind up, but you just want it a little bit up just so it can follow the lower links. Because if you have the drive shaft hanging down here, you kind of did this for nothing, because you want everything tucked up to those links. So once you find the right angle for your axle, you're going to put the bolts in, and then you're going to kind of just look at it, put your drive shaft on, and then just kind of see. As you can see, the first time I had this, I kind of had the angle a little off. I had these up a little further near the skid plate, and my drive shaft hung down. So I realized that I just needed to bring them up a little bit just to give the angle of the axle a little higher. And then that's what you're going to achieve, is maximum ground clearance. So on Amazon, Ramp Crab has these drive shaft extensions, which all they are is what they say they are. Literally just a little extension that you're going to put on the rear diff. See, I added it on the rear diff just so it shoots the angle a little higher, just so my axle, it'll shoot the drive shaft on more of an angle. Instead of the drive shaft like this, it's going to shoot it like this, just so it's more of like a this, you know, whatever. It keeps the angle of the drive shaft a little higher, just so it stays nice and tucked up above those links. So when you have everything set up, you just want to make sure that you are not contacting anything. You don't want the upper links hitting the lower links. You don't want the upper links to hit the frame rails. You don't want no binding. Just make sure everything is apart. Make sure everything is not touching, and you should be set. You still have the articulation, you still have the droop, whatever. Everything still works like it should. It just gives it that more stability and that ground clearance. So I take no credit in this. This is not, I didn't think of this. There's a ton of other people that actually do this. I got the idea from Trey, and I think Trey got it from other people. Either way, if you thought of it, leave a comment below, say I did this, it's whatever. I'm claiming no credit. I just see it, I did it, I like it. So you can do this in the front links also. It might take a little bit more work, but it might be actually worth it. There's pros and cons to that. I have not done that yet. I don't know if I'm going to, just because I feel like it's a lot more beneficial just to do the rear, but I could be wrong. Like I said, I have no idea what I'm doing, but I did it anyway, kinda. So I'm gonna do a little driving clips, just indoors in some rocks, just because I'm lame. So I don't know how much I'm actually gonna show you, but still get that articulation. You still get pretty much everything from having it stock links, but it just makes it that much better. And that ground clearance is just something you can't beat. I mean, just look at it. Look at that ground clearance. Crazy. So I hope this video helped you a little bit, maybe answered some questions, maybe it didn't. But like I said, go watch Trey's video for the double bends and just kind of take that along with this video and mash it together, and it should help. So make sure you guys leave a like, comment, subscribe if you haven't already. You know I drive through all your feedback. I'll catch you guys in the next video.